disobeyed me. You disrespected me. I don't know where I went wrong in raising you. You gotta believe me. I did what I had to do. I give you everything, and this is what I get in return? Get out of my sight.
Transference is when you take a look at what someone else is going through, just like what Moxxie is doing, and you can actually transfer your own feelings to this person because it's similar to you. But sometimes we can overdo that, where we make assumptions about this person and their experience because of what we do. So we overestimate that they are like us, and so because of that, their journey becomes our journey.
I've been doing this for him since I was a little kid, and nothing's ever changed. He treats me like I'm a real mook, a schmuck, a jabroni, you know, like
a tool? Like you're nothing more than an instrument of his own twisted desire?
No, yeah, something like that.
And you can see that when Moxxie breaks character, he's now speaking as himself. Sometimes what happens when we're dealing with transference is that we want to live vicariously through another person. We want to fix wrongs that happened or be able to project a future to someone else in the hopes that that might heal our own wounds, that there might be some sort of a justice in an unjust world. And this can happen in a lot of different situations, especially situations that you feel are undone or not finished for you or still hurt. But the problem with when we make assumptions is that assumptions are making an ass of you and me. Sometimes it's so wrong, or you can become so invested that you can lose sight of yourself, or you become overly invested or even angry if people don't do the things that we want them to do. And a lot of times this can even happen with parents and their children, when they're having their children fulfill wishes that were their wishes, but then we forget that they may not have the same wishes that we do. They may not have the same wounds, and the situation may not be the same.
I'm sure you know what it's like. After all, your dad's the big man too.
Very well. I will help ye!
Ooh.
The problem is with most of these situations is that you can't actually heal those wounds through living through someone else. It might feel like a sense of justice, but in the end, your wounds are your own to heal or not to.
He wants your head, and I've made them an offer. Mine.
What?
Polly, my son, I know I've been hard on you, but it's because I needed you to be ready for the day that is about to come. Listen to me, boy. I love you more than anything in this world. Family is everything.
And that's the thing, is that often what we do isn't as important as why we did them. Someone hits you on the shoulder, you might look back in anger and be really upset at them, but then you realize that, oh my goodness, they only hit me because there was a spider on my shoulder or a mosquito, that they were actually protecting me. And that's the problem, is that if you don't ask those questions, if you're not curious, you might make assumptions that are wrong about why someone did something. And that's the problem with when we do not have these discussions or conversations, is that you might assume something because often we assume things through our own fears or our own wounds. And then when you find out the actual reasons why someone did something, you might feel completely different about it. Or even worse, might act upon our wrong assumptions, and because of that make a situation worse that didn't have to be, or feel negatively about someone that actually, when we find out the truth, we would actually feel positive about them.
I know I've been hard on you, but it's because I needed you to be ready for the day that is about to come.
A lot of times we're taught that, spare the rod, spoil the child, that you have to have tough love. Now, I'm not saying that you should be a helicopter parent and do everything for your child. That is not a healthy set of parenting. But also this tough love where you don't show them any affection, where you're trying to lead by demeaning, demoralizing. Actually, that causes a whole bunch of negative effects, where someone feels that they're not worthy, that they constantly have to prove it. They end up feeling anger and animosity. One of the greatest precursors to successful and a well-adjusted child is to feel loved and cared and supported, to be able to feel validated. They feel resilient to life, where they believe in themselves. So this parenting that we have been taught to do, we're not taught how to parent. We do the best that we can with the tools that we have at hand, and often we end up parenting by the way that we were parented or what we are shown by some strong figure that they should do. ends up being the wrong tools. You want to remember that your job is to prepare your child for life, but also to let them learn their own worth, to teach them empathy and care, and that if they treat other people with respect and care, they will also. And you do that not by your words, but by your actions. So sometimes you want something, but you're actually showing your child the opposite, and you'll have those effects because of it. And there are some times where you might actually have to show real tough love. You might have to take a check back to say, am I enabling my child? Am I actually helping them to do something that is going to be a maladaptive behavior, and you need to pull back, and that might hurt you. Sometimes we have to sacrifice some of our own feelings in order to help someone else grow.
I need you too now. Take care of your mother for me.
Is that how it should have been?
Oh, this is great.
And for poor Moxxie, sometimes when we look back on life, or we become parents ourselves, and we look back on behaviors that people have had, and we might have been doing what Moxxie did, which was constantly saying, oh, you know what? He's a mob boss. He has to be mean. He has to be vicious. A lot of times when you're in abusive situations, it's so much easier to put that onto yourself, to blame yourself. And a lot of times in parental relationships, children always blame themselves, even for silly things that they could have nothing to do with. But it's easier because that gives us a sense of control. If it's our fault, then we can fix it. That means that we were still cared about or loved. And so a lot of times when you're in a maladaptive behavior, your defense mechanism is to take it on because it's less painful. That realization that other people, when you look out into the world and maybe you went through a very difficult abusive situation and then you see other people that have healthier relationships, it can be so very painful. People having just happy relationships can cause so much pain to those that haven't experienced that because it's so very unfair, and those scars can last a lifetime if you don't take care of them.
Something wrong, hun? You barely touched your leech.
I think my dad is a giant piece of shit.
You all right? You've always known he was a giant piece of
He's a mobster. I thought he had to be. He didn't have to be.
And similar to Moxxie's personality type, that can really happen where you end up trying to overachieve, trying to make people love you, that fear of being abandoned when you never had that kind of loving, safe relationship. And that's why it's wonderful for Moxxie to have Millie, someone that is there, someone that is caring, someone that doesn't mock him for having these feelings, that safe place to land. That starts healing all of those feelings. But in the end, you have to heal these feelings for yourself. You can't lean on anyone else to do it, but it is a wonderful thing that he has a nice supportive system around him. And I also love that he's able to express it, to share these feelings. Often when you end up with a very harsh parent, you might judge yourself for having feelings at all, thinking that those are weaknesses when they're not. They're your strength, they're your pain, they're your truth, and you get to own them.
The world is filled with so many stressful things. We all live such busy lives. We all need a little box of wonder to fill us with that happiness and joy. And what if I told you that there was a subscription box that could keep you entertained and make you smarter at the same time? Well, here we have it. Finally, I got mine. This is from Vsauce, and this is Curiosity Box. I'm so very excited to have this box. So let's go take a look at what is in my month's box of Curiosity Box. Okay, so we start off with a magazine and a t-shirt. Love it. One is it's made really nice and soft and comfortable. I love things that are like science and like multi-use. Like it's something special, something different. So besides just using regular chopsticks, the cool part is that it's also a slide rule, so you can do your math at the same time. And that's the wonderful thing, is that you get this dopamine rush from getting something new, from having something that shows up as like a treat, like a gift that you give yourself. But this is also that wonderful gift to give to that person that has everything, the person that you're not sure what to get. And it really really doesn't matter what age someone is. This is a wonderful gift if you're 10 or if you're 100. This is not a plastic prism. This is a real glass prism. Puzzles. Okay, I love puzzles. That helps you distract your mind at the same time as while you're dealing with things. It's a wonderful, soothing, meditative activity. So if you are looking for some fun, some entertainment, that perfect gift for that person in your life, or you know what, just for yourself, there is something wonderful about ordering something that will bring you that kind of fun and science at the same time. All you have to do is click on that link in the description to use my code Georgia25 to get 25% off of your first box delivered directly to you or that friend that you just want to brighten their day, that gift for the person that you are not sure what to buy. They will absolutely adore it. It is so exciting. So thank you to Curiosity Box for sponsoring this video. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one.
So that is a little bit on Moxxie's journey. You can let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.